Hey, we are here again. This is Facebook Live number 4. So, in this Facebook Live, I'm going to talk about a special um, part of my personal development journey that I needed to understand in order for me to start changing, to start receiving my personal transformation. I think I've mentioned it already in the first session that we had, that everything starts with your mind, and if you can get your mind right, everything falls into place. And it's the way you think, it's the way you look at things that will shape your destiny, will shape your decisions. So if you are here with me on Instagram or on Facebook, follow me in the chat and chat along with me so I can see that you are live with me. Okay, so I start. One thing that you need to realize is this: when we were a child, everything that happened around us went right into our subconscious mind, because we did not have the ability yet to reject anything, or to say like, no, I do not agree with that specific idea. I don't like that, of mom, don't teach me that because I'm not going to apply it. You cannot say that, because your mind was working like a sponge, absorbing everything, not validating anything. And I want to pause here, because this is one of the things that I think that messed up a part of me, not believing enough in myself in a certain way, that I was just like living to pending for other people's approval, right? And when I had my issues at school, and I was bullied, as I told you, and I was not trained or educated to be assertive, to come up for myself, to stand up for what is right, to open my mouth and express myself. I was like, in the case, like, you don't need to worry about, just ignore them. And it worked average for me, because I was like suppressing myself, holding all emotions in. I was not telling anyone. I was just taking everything in and not doing anything. And that was one of the things that I think that made me the person that I am today, in the kind of way that I'm trying to overcome that, to be assertive, to know what I want, where I want to go, without needing the approval of anyone else. And in this case, it was everything that was happening around me, the things at school, the things at home, and that you start just absorbing in your subconscious mind in a certain way, that it becomes part of you. And at that age, I could not tell those people that were like advising me to ignore that. I did not agree. I wanted to shut out. I wanted to come up for myself. I wanted to go and defend myself, and whatever. I just agreed and said, okay, yes, okay, if that is the best way to do it, I do it. I just take it, And nowadays, you realize that, sorry for the phrase, you don't need to take shit from anyone, because you have a value, you have a worth, right? And you don't need to let anyone to break your dreams, to break who you are, to break your goals, just because they didn't achieve it, or just because they don't agree with what you're doing. And it's a lot of more than that. Maybe I'm not getting all words in English to express myself correctly, but I think you can follow what I'm saying here. So any idea that we were exposed to over and over again were like seeds being planted in the fertile soul. I talked about this on my post also, previously on Instagram, that it is very important, because it takes a certain root in your life and becomes part of the set of the mindset and behaviors that controls every aspect of your life. I've talked also about this previously this morning, about limiting beliefs. So what we learned in our childhood, in our past, by our parents, by our schools, by our friends, everyone that was around us in that time, became a part of us, because as children we cannot validate anything. We just absorb. We just get what we are learning. So now here is the thing I want you to know, that we are not taught about this in school or by our parents. We are not taught about mindset, about how powerful your mind is in getting the results that stick. We did not get any education on how to build a business, for instance, how to grow a business. We get taught to go to school to learn and just go work for someone else's dream, right? That is what we are taught when we are children, that we need to go do our best at school so we can go work. And that is one simple example that I can give you of something that we are taught and that most of us still do today. So when you discover what you want and you want to change it, people will not accept you. People will not understand. They will start criticizing you and trying to get you out of your idea, of your plan, just because we are all taught the same. So nowadays we have more and more parents that are teaching their children other things, maybe also to be an entrepreneur, to be a business owner, to have jobs for other people that want to work, and instead of being an employee. So that is just an example. So as I said, we are not taught about this in school or by our parents or anyone. This is one of the programs that Bob Proctor teaches. He is also one of my virtual coaches that I follow. He is phenomenal in what takes a mindset and shifting paradigms, how to shift the certain thoughts and behaviors from your past, because you really need to start thinking and letting go of things that were implanted in you, and be authentic, right? So in fact, the entire system that has been learning us who we are did not teach us very well. And what is the consequence of that? That we here 20, 30, 40, maybe also 60 years later, we are living in the same way we were learned to as little kids. So that is something like when I was a child and I had those issues with all those children at school, I was taught at that moment, because maybe my parents thought that it is the best for me to not get into problems, to not get involved with people by getting assertive or open my mouth to say something. Until today, I have been taught to just ignore people, instead of to come up for myself and just face the fear. It is another lesson compared to just ignoring people. It is another way to solving the problems, because sometimes when you ignore people, that is what happened to me. It becomes more until a time that you cannot take anymore, and you can just explode. So now it is time to change this, and this is what Bob Proctor have taught us today. You need to stand your own ground. You need to start unlearning who they taught you to be and start living the life of who you want to be. And that is what we talked about with Jay Shetty's book about identity part. That you need to know who you are, and stop thinking, stop expecting, stop depending on the opinions of other people, or feeling the obligation to do something, and it is not part of your identity of who you want to be. You need to start thinking who you are, what is your why that drives you, what do you want to achieve, and you need to start thinking about everything in your life that you have been taught on, that are limiting beliefs, that are limiting your potential, that are making you being scared, anything. You need to write this down and think, now is the time for me to change this. It will not happen overnight. It will not happen from today or tomorrow or in first month. It is a process, but you need to be able to first choose to work on yourself. You need to unlearn what you have been taught. So the point you need to learn who you are by unlearning who they taught you to be, and that is for everything in your life, for relationships, in the finance, in success, in everything. And it is a very important process, and I'm still applying that. And I'm very grateful that I've met to know that there is a coach out there named Bob Proctor that teaches mindset. I highly recommend you to follow him. You can also go to my link in the bio, and you will see 2 programs about mindset coaching that are given by him, and you can follow also these programs. So this was the session that I wanted to share with you today. And go out there, don't be afraid. I know that we are loved by our parents and our teachers in the past, and everyone. They did what are best for us, but you need to now start and filter what is working for you, what feels good for you, what is connected to your heart, and unlearn all other things that is not serving your purpose. Okay, so this was my 4th session. I need to do like 10 more today. So bye bye.